Mami Wata's curse, the price of desire. The story begins with a young man named Teo, a fisherman who lived by the river in a small village. Teo was well known for his skill as a fisherman, but he had a deep yearning for more than the simple life his village offered. His heart desired wealth, recognition, and the admiration of others. His longing for a life of luxury often made him envious of the wealthier merchants in his town, and he became restless. One day, while fishing alone in his boat on the river, Teo encountered something extraordinary. The sun was setting, casting golden hues across the water, when he saw a figure emerge from the river. At first, Teo thought it was a dream, but the figure was real, an enchanting woman with long, flowing hair that shimmered as though she were one with the river itself. Her eyes glowed with a mysterious light, and her voice was like the gentle rustling of leaves in the wind. The woman introduced herself as Mami Wata. She explained that she was the spirit of the river, a protector of the waters, and a guardian of those who sought her guidance. Mami Wata's beauty was mesmerizing, but Teo, although struck by her charm, listened closely to her words. She offered him the chance to fulfill his deepest desires, promising him wealth, success, and the life of luxury that he longed for, if he was willing to enter into a pact with her. Mami Wata's terms were clear. In exchange for her help, Teo would have to give up something precious to him, his connection to his people and his humble life by the river. Mami Wata was known to make these kinds of bargains with mortals, and many who accepted her gifts often found themselves trapped in a life of excess and isolation. Teo, in his naivety and hunger for more, agreed without fully understanding the consequences. Mami Wata smiled, and with a wave of her hand, she transformed his simple fishing boat into a magnificent vessel, glittering with gold and jewels. She filled his net with fish of unimaginable size, each more valuable than the last. Over the next few weeks, Teo's fortune grew. He was no longer just a fisherman, he became one of the wealthiest men in the village. His fame spread far and wide, and people from neighboring villages sought his company, hoping to share in his good fortune. However, as time passed, Teo began to feel the weight of his pact with Mami Wata. He noticed that he was growing distant from his old friends and family. His desires for wealth and luxury consumed him, and he no longer found joy in the simple things that once gave him peace. The villagers, who once admired him, now saw him as a different person, someone who had lost his sense of community and had become arrogant and selfish. Teo began to miss the river, the water that had once been his companion, the place where he had learned the ways of fishing from his ancestors. One evening, feeling guilty and yearning for the peace he once knew, Teo returned to the river to speak with Mami Wata. He sought forgiveness, hoping to regain the simplicity of his life. When he arrived at the riverbank, Mami Wata appeared before him, radiant and calm as ever. Teo pleaded with her to release him from their pact, to allow him to return to his old life. Mami Wata's face darkened, and she warned him that there was no turning back from the deal he had made. She had given him everything he wanted, but at a great cost. The more Teo tried to take back his desire for wealth, the more he realized that the spirit had woven herself into every part of his life. The next day, Teo woke up to find his wealth had vanished. His once glittering boat was now a simple fishing vessel, his jewels had disappeared, and his home had fallen into ruin. But the most shocking change was that his connection to the river was severed. The once beautiful waters no longer sparkled with the same magic, and Teo could no longer fish. The river had withdrawn from him entirely, and he was left with only the haunting memory of Mami Wata's warning. Desperate, Teo sought out Mami Wata one last time. He found her beneath the river's surface, where she sat on a throne made of coral and seaweed. Teo begged her to return his blessings and offer him the chance to undo the deal he had made. Mami Wata, her eyes cold as the deep ocean, told him that there was no undoing the pact. She explained that she had given him a glimpse of paradise, but like all human desires, it had only led to emptiness. Mami Wata, the spirit of the waters, revealed the truth: humans are never truly satisfied, always chasing after more, until they lose what they had in the first place. Teo realized that he had been tricked not by Mami Wata, but by his own greed and ignorance. In a moment of clarity, Teo understood that the peace he once sought was not in wealth or material possessions, but in his connection with the world around him, with nature, and with the people who cared about him. Mami Wata, seeing the change in his heart, offered him a final chance. She would return his life to what it once was, but only if he promised to never again be consumed by his desires. Teo agreed and was returned to his humble life, but this time, he was a changed man. He no longer sought riches or fame. Instead, he spent his days helping his community and reconnecting with the river that had once been his sanctuary. Teo never forgot Mami Wata's lesson, the cost of unchecked desires and the importance of contentment. This story of Mami Wata blends elements of temptation, the supernatural, and the consequences of greed. It's a tale that reflects the complex relationship between humans and the natural world in African mythology, where spiritual entities like Mami Wata offer blessings and curses, depending on the character and desires of the humans who interact with them.